2019 is the year I pledged to play through the Castlevania franchise and record my journey through these vlogs, culminating in one big video review at the end. Welcome back everyone to another Castlevania Diaries. Now we're going to do something different because this game is going to be taken off the market in a couple of weeks. So I really want to get this diary out even though I owe you guys two other Castlevania Diaries. We're going to talk about Grimoire of Souls today, which is Konami's very short-lived mobile game, which was released last September 2019, and they're taking it off the market in September 2020, which is only a few weeks away from the day I'm releasing this video. But luckily, I have played the game, spent 2 hours with it, pretty much unlocked everything, all the mechanics to really to see what the game is about. That's all on the channel if you guys ever want to see what that game was about, because I feel this is going to be something that's going to be lost to the history of gaming for whatever reason. If you're in Canada, I know that you can play this game for the next few weeks. If you want to check it out for yourself, do so. I have to say, I'm actually quite happy that, well, first of all, that I got into this whole Castlevania journey in this past year because it coincided with the fact that I had the chance to play this Castlevania game. Next, I'm also really surprised at how many good elements are into this game. I was definitely not expecting to go into a mobile game of all things, expecting anything good, especially a Konami mobile game. But I made a list because you guys called me out last time. You're like, where's your list, Jay? So I got lists, and there's a lot of good things to talk about. I really do hope that they take a lot of the elements that I liked in Grimoire of Souls, just take all the good, because you have a team that did a lot of good stuff here, and you put that into a traditional console/PC game, and you can have this wonderful new Castlevania game made by Konami in a post-2020 world. I have to say too, I don't think I've ever played a mobile game this long out of interest, other than Pokemon Go, which I don't think that's fair. So I don't play a lot of mobile games, and the ones I do play, they usually have a captcha mechanic that lasts, you know, they kind of pull you in the first 30 minutes feels like a genuine game experience. And then you get into the, oh, okay, I see, now you want my money, or oh, the mechanics kind of get like stale. No, with Castlevania Grimoire of Souls, I played 2 hours out of interest, not just because I was streaming it and I was trying to like unlock everything. I genuinely was invested in the game. So overview, for those who might not know what it is, it's a very basic, so I think the game takes place in 1999 timeline, so it's pretty much at the end of the entire Castlevania timeline almost, and you play as Alucard, who goes by another name, Arikado or something at that time, and you go into this castle and there's like a lady who has these grimoires, and they document the different periods and stories surrounding Dracula's castle, and there's something weird going on. So there's actually a decent story here. So as Alucard, you have to go into these books, reliving aspects of the whole Castlevania franchise, encountering heroes from the different generations, enlisting them to your cause, and then playing with them, ranking them up to unlock more levels. And so the grind goes, and the game hopes that you spend money along the way. Now, money aside, the concept of a Castlevania game that transcends all the generations and brings all the characters together, I think that's pretty cool, and that would work quite well. And you see that in a lot of other IPs where there is this cross-generational, cross-dimensional game where everything comes together. We saw it with Hyrule Warriors bringing all the Zelda universes together. Fire Emblem did the same with a bunch of their spin-offs. I do think well done, a spin-off like this that does bring all of the different games and the different characters together can work if done well. And I think Grimoire of Souls had the right concept of doing it through books, and you're not actually interacting with the characters themselves, but with they're basically like a manifestation of the character. That works. So story basis for a next Castlevania game works right here as a fun kind of, hey, here you go, players. The next thing I really liked, I have to say, is animation and art style. Let's just talk about that. So every character has been rebuilt with a new 3D model. Alucard looks really young, really good. It's somewhere between like a traditional animation style and a hand-drawn style. The hand-drawn style I love. I prefer it over the anime style. And I would love a whole game that just uses this. Now, even the level designs look pretty good. You know, it has that 3D, that modern 2.5D look. For a mobile game, it's fantastic. If you bring it to console, I think you can polish up like a tad more. But the general direction of the art style and the animation style here, fantastic. Take the story, put it in a game with traditional controls, and we're good. The other aspect of the game which would translate very well to console. And the more I talk about this, the more I just want this game to happen on consoles. So in any Castlevania game I've played so far, in the last 18 Castlevania games I've played, you always pretty much have an attack button, a special, sometimes a magic spell, and that's it. And you can like switch between your weapons. In this game, you can do that, but you can also combo some abilities, which is something I've never experienced in a Castlevania game. If that happens in the next ones, I take this back. But the fact that you can unlock abilities through a skill tree, fantastic. I love that. You can put that into a Metroidvania style Castlevania game and it would work. The fact that you can combo things, so in a freaking mobile game, I'm hacking away automatically because the game auto hacks, whatever. And then you push a button that does like the spinning combo, and then I like do another flicking motion that does like another thing. Okay, control wise on mobile, it sucks, but concept wise and execution, it would feel really good with a controller in my hands. So the whole combo skill tree aspect of the game, again, bring that into a console game, fantastic mechanic. The music feels like it was pretty much ripped from all the past Castlevania games and just kind of put into a collection in this game. And you know what? I don't care. The music is great in the last games. Take that fantastic music, add it with all of these other positive elements, and solid. You've got a solid game. There were two other aspects that I really liked about this game, which were they had a trial mode. So the main mode is you go into a book, you play a level, and you can like 1, 2, or 3 star it, just like any other mobile game. And the general areas, you kind of run right or you go up. You move around a 2D level, usually like 3, 4 screens wide. You kill everything on screen, and then you get all sorts of weird currency and stuff to buy things. That's your main game, and you progress through levels and you unlock stuff, and then you eventually fight a boss, and then you close the book, and then you go to another book, and you keep going. There's different modes outside of that, one being the trials mode, and the trials are really interesting because you have different types of trials. One of them is you have to go up an elevator, like an elevator is going up, and there's enemies everywhere, and sometimes you have to jump off the elevator, sometimes you have to kill whatever's spawning on the elevator, and you get a rank. You get like B, A, S, all that stuff, and based on your score you get different rewards. And then there was another one, I think it was kill everything on screen in a certain amount of time, stuff like that. So the trials is a nice kind of side aspect that I feel you could add on to a game like Castlevania, and I think I'm not sure if they do. I don't recall a game that has done that, but I would welcome an additional like trial mode to Castlevania. It wouldn't be my favorite aspect because it would be hard, but I think that would work very well in a Grimoire of Souls remake for consoles. And then you have a multiplayer aspect, which in concept, it works well. Here, again, you're on mobile, so it's kind of meh. But in here, you have a map. Kind of reminds me of a Smash Brothers map. It's like a big self-contained map with 4 players that spawn. And there's just a bunch of enemies that spawn across the map. And it's up to the players of different levels to go around the map and kill everything. Whoops. So all of that, fantastic. It works. I would love to have that in another, like you take all these elements, you have a solid foundation for the next game. Now the things that didn't work so well, I feel you guys are already going to know what it is. It's everything that just doesn't work well in mobile games. The first being it's touchscreen. The whole left side of your screen is reserved for your thumb to slide, which indicates where to go. And on the right side is your input. So you have 3 actual spaces on the screen you have to touch to either slide, jump, or execute one of your specials. And then you have 3 other specials that are activated by swiping down, left, or up. So it's just not smooth. And this game actually requires some decent precision platforming, and you like try to like it's not, I don't like it. Where was I going with the controls? There was something else with the controls about the platforming, the attack. Oh, the attack. So you're probably wondering, well, how do you attack? So the game auto attacks. So you just run towards the enemy and your character will just whip or do whatever attack, throw a pigeon in some cases. And I was okay with it because it is a mobile game, but some people it's probably weird. You can turn that off, but the controls were already hard enough as it was. I was like, you know what? I don't want to have to worry about timing my attacks on top of coordinating everything else on this flat surface. It just doesn't work for me. The other aspect is the captcha, I think, mechanic is what. So all of the gear in here is pretty much unlocked by redeeming these certain shards, and you redeem shards to have a chance. It's like a booster pack of unlocking your weapons, your gear, and they can vary from 1 star to 5 stars. So you could get like a copper sword, but it would be a 3 star, or you could get a copper sword that would be a 5 star. So you're always gambling for your gear, which can really make leveling up hard. And then on top of that, to get stronger, oh my goodness, to get stronger, like bear with me, the more stuff you do, the more your rank goes up. That's your player rank. And the more your player rank goes up, that says how much higher everything else can go. So if your player rank is 10, you can level up your items to level 10. You can't go higher. Then there's your character rank. So every character you choose to play, you can level them up individually. So if you really love Simon Belmont, you can play just as him. You can level him up. And that increases his stats. But then you have all of the gear that goes on all of the characters that have to be individually leveled up. So if you have, again, Simon, and you really like his fire whip, you have to spend your resources into leveling up his fire whip. But then let's say there's a level that calls for an ice whip. Oh, well, you better level up your ice whip, all while also leveling up your helmet, your gear slot for your chest. Like, it gets super grindy. I really had a lot of troubles trying to kill the first boss just because I was so under leveled, and it took me so long to get all the necessary resources. And that's like in the first 2 hours of playtime. Usually in mobile games, resources become even more sparse because that's when they try to get the money out of you. So you could easily blow hundreds of dollars in this and make no progress. So the grind is really unpleasant. But take all of those positive elements and you put that into a traditional Metroidvania style Castlevania game, this could be Konami's next big game. And I think a lot of fans would be happy. I personally would be really happy. So I'm really glad I played Grimoire of Souls because there was a lot of good stuff to get out of here. Unfortunately, it is tainted with Konami's greediness of mobile games, but the team had elements of the heart of the franchise with a lot of ideas that could go forward into the franchise. So this is the latest Castlevania game we have at this point. In 2020, this is as far as the Castlevania franchise has gone. And I would love to see some elements ported into the next game. So it was a good surprise for me. Let me know if you had the chance to try it before they shut down the servers, or if you're going to be trying in the next couple weeks, because after that, it's just going to be whoever played it in the last year that can talk about it. So that's it for that. We're going to go back to the other Castlevania Diaries that I owe you guys for the next two. One is Curse of the Moon 2, and then there's the other one on the DS. I forget the name, but I will get those out to you next, and I'll see you in those diaries. Until then, keep it classy.